Start recording. We have started the recording! Welcome. This is... Oh, shit. Well, we don't have the... I believe this is episode 16. That's right. It is 16. See, we kind of dropped the whole, like, adding the episode numbers to the headers because, it's just a tedious shit. So, you know what episode it is. It's in the title. It's in the title of the YouTube or the bit shoot shit. You know what I'm talking about. We got Blues here. He's multitasking because he not putting his full heart into this. It is depressing. It saddens me a lot. Let's get the script up. Where is Blues anyways? Is he even here?
I'm right fucking here.
Oh, the people want to hear your voice, Magical Blues.
No, they don't.
So you gotta do your magical shit and enlighten people, make them feel good. So
they'll be all right.
So the title of the podcast is Mothless Rom, which is a fitting title for the first time we've actually used titles.
Well, you're not fucking mothless because you're just doing shit in Otherworld.
Yeah, that's true. But I kind of came up with the title before I did that because I thought about like not having her around for a while, but I was like, well, I felt the muse come back when I started thinking about what to do in in hell. So it worked out. I'm hitting some home runs right now in C-Box, and I noticed you starting to reply to the forum posts. So you're doing good, Blues. Doing good. Let's see. Saga news. What the fuck's going on with the saga? Tell us, Blues.
We don't have a saga.
Yes, we don't have a saga. But can you give the people any hints about the saga or what's going on with Astrid? Demons. All right. So you know what's going on.
That's all you get.
You know there's going to be demons. So you know what's coming. You know what's coming. The C-Box news, Astrid's Earth Federation Senate meeting. So tell us what was going on with that, Blues, because I think you were paying more attention than I was.
I was in it.
Yes, so that's why you know.
I mean, what do you want to know? Basically, Astrid was like, oh, what do we need to do? And then the Senate was like, we need to get rid of superhumans. And Astrid was like, no, we don't. And then, basically, they were like, we're going to start building more models.
Oh boy, more Model X's. That sounds like fun.
More models, not more Model X's.
Oh boy.
They are going to bring back Model X, though.
Yeah. Is there going to be any consequences for him being wrecked by Moth Yokai?
Consequences like what?
I don't know, like maybe he got corrupted by the dark key he kept trying to steal.
He was fucking destroyed.
I didn't know he was destroyed fully, but...
You fucking made your little key beams come out of him and fucking tear him apart.
Yeah, but there's still parts of him here and there and over there and... Yeah,
that they fucking salvaged and they're gonna fucking rebuild.
Yeah, but if they rebuild those parts, what if they're still tainted by dark key so he becomes like a renegade, rogue?
Why would he become a renegade?
Because he was corrupted by the dark key. See, it makes it interesting because now he's evil Model X.
That literally only means he has a temporary period where he's been empowered by the demon realm. That would be about the extent of it.
Yeah, so basically evil Model X. So you need to get on that, Blues.
Why do you?
He might also need a soul for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you destroy Model X, it's not like he goes to fucking It's not like he goes to Otherworld.
Yeah, because he's fully robotic, right? So I guess he wouldn't technically have a soul. So let's see. Moth Violet killed by Vegeta after breaking out of ESF prison. So basically, we could go into that. So basically, we kind of had an idea of what we're going to do. And, I was like, one night, I kind of deviated from it because I wanted to do some shit, and there was a part of me that just kind of wanted to blow up the ESF base just to see what happened.
I'm just going to put that towards you can hang out 50 loading plots there, and you decided to deviate from the plot.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't that much of a deviation because I mean, we already kind of knew that Moth Violet was going to go crazy once she realized who she really was. So it wasn't really that much. It just depending on where she went crazy. It was never planned for it to be at the ESF base. So basically, Moth Violet, she has a multiple personality disorder where basically Moth Yokai, a demon lord, he was defeated by Dabura, but he was able to escape to Earth, but he was hunted down and supposedly destroyed, but he wasn't. And his essence was able to I didn't even really flesh it out that much, but essentially his essence was able to corrupt Dalia when she was really young, maybe 2 or 3. And he was able to kind of salvage himself using her as a vessel. And so she grew up kind of knowing this as the memories flooded her, but so she didn't go insane. She just created all these fictional alter egos, like Tyler Durden, for example.
That's literally insanity.
Yeah, well, so I guess maybe she is.
What was this move?
Yeah, so maybe she did go crazy, but maybe it was like a stable crazy, where she imagined seeing Moth Yokai, because that was another twist that he was never really there. It was just her talking to herself, and
Damn. I fucking took out an entire building with Yamcha.
You murder her. And then
yeah, Krillin just fucked up Yamcha.
And then the Moth Violet alter ego was just kind of her evil part, and then her good part she made Dalia, which was trying to be the normal girl. But anyways, basically, to make a long story short, she remembered all her past memories while stuck at the ESF base in a dream, and she just went fucking crazy. And I had planned for her to kill not only a lot of people of the ESF, but also a lot of my ESF characters. But, of course, Blues with his fucking OP Model X tried to find ways out of it, but
you still fucking killed him. Yeah,
but I gave Moth Yokai a power with his dark key energy to where he couldn't, Model X couldn't just OP like he usually does, and so he did get wrecked.
Yeah, you wanted to make a bullshit power so Model X wouldn't beat you so quickly.
A bullshit android, bullshit powers.
Bullshit though.
I mean, he's a little.
All he does is absorb your fucking energy.
He is a little too OP sometimes, because
to fucking Moth Violet.
Well, just characters in general. I'm not.
I haven't fought anybody except you as Model X, so.
I'm sure you fought other people. It was a long time ago.
I have not.
But no, I think you're a little angry that I found a counter to his absorbing techniques, but
I could just rebuild him.
Yeah, regardless, it was really.
You're in the other world, though.
Yeah, it was what was
You're
really.
Dead.
Yeah, well,
you're dead. I'm not. So get fucked, scrub.
Oh, it's okay because I have a really awesome plot going on there, so kind of worked out. But it was surprising that you brought Vegeta because I figured we were still going to go by the plan of what we were doing, but since it didn't happen that way, it was still a good battle. Vegeta almost died. He almost got stabbed. He almost got stabbed with a key javelin. So.
Oh well, yeah, he would have got stabbed, but that don't mean he would have been dead.
I mean, it could have been a fatal wound to the chest or something, or he could have been in a lot of trouble, but it didn't happen.
You really think I'm gonna let Vegeta get killed off by fucking Moth Violet?
Could happen if she got a lucky shot in. Could happen to anybody. Sorbet almost killed Goku, so. And Moth Violet could beat the shit out of him.
Resurrection F isn't canon, so Sorbet didn't happen.
Yeah. But.
So, Resurrection F the movie or Resurrection F Super's arc?
I don't know which one did he shoot
The movie
him?
happened. Fuck it.
Did he shoot him in both of them or one of them?
I don't fucking know. But look, the movies can be canon because the movies can just be slipped into the timeline.
Yeah, it's weird how they did the movies and like a movie
did
version.
Resurrection F and then Battle of Gods and then it's fucking.
They basically, it's
but
so
yeah,
weird.
as far as since Broly is canon, I guess we can say Resurrection F is canon too.
But they made two versions, right? They made
Resurrection F and then they made the Frieza fucking saga in Super.
Yeah, exactly. They basically follow the same.
He basically did the same shit. Yeah, he did the same shit he did in Resurrection F, but it was in Super now.
It's just a way for them to make money off the movies while also making sure it's canon in the show, basically. So, I don't know. Did they do that? They didn't do that for Brawly, the Brawly movie, though. You know, they never did it in the actual show, or is it part of it?
They just made a movie for Broly. Broly.
I don't know if the Brawly is actually canon or not. I don't remember.
Yeah, he's canon. In the new movie, he's canon, but like the old Broly is no longer canon.
So, oh shit, I'm looking at older messages. Super movies canon along.
Not gonna lie, I prefer OG Broly.
I like the Super Broly because I like it. I like that he has Saiyan armor, or PTO armor.
Oh well, that's I guess.
I like the.
I like the movie just fine. Yeah, I like the movie just fine, but like I prefer.
I like the designs. I don't really like the movie so much because it's like I said, it's like anything with Super is just too OP. They're too overpowered, and it's just kind of ridiculous at this point. There's no way that Brawly should have that kind of power, like of a god, a green god. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
He's the legendary Super Saiyan, man.
And you can say there's a canon explanation, and I still think it's bullshit. They
I don't know how he's that strong.
They really.
I didn't know how the OG Broly was that fucking strong, but hey,
every time,
motherfucker.
Every time we criticize DBZ, you notice I'm going to always bring up power scaling because that's one of the major flaws of that show in general. So,
I didn't like the OG Broly because he was like, I hate Goku because he was crying as a kid. Like that's a stupid ass explanation. I just prefer OG Broly like fight scenes and shit. The whole fucking backstory for him in the OG canon. I hate Kakarot because he was crying next to me as a child. It's like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. I like OG Brawly too, don't get me wrong. He's awesome. He was always, as a kid too, he was always like, oh shit, he's the legendary Super Saiyan. And it's like...
it's fucking Broly.
Yeah.
If you wanted to play as Goku and somebody else wanted to play as Vegeta, you would have to trump them by playing Broly.
Exactly. Yeah, OG Brawly will always have a place in my heart because he was always like that. Like before, like they started showing him in the on TV on Toonami, like you would see figures of him, like, oh shit, that's like this. Like you would, and you'd see the movie or if you could or whatever. But yeah, Brawly was always cool. Everybody likes Brawly, man. His story's kind of shitty, but he was always just super fucking cool. So. But let's see, what else? Piccolo and Gohan breaks out Oob, Soror, and Rakutsu. So that's your scoop, Blue. So tell the folks about it.
What do they want to know?
They want to know.
Well, so Piccolo and Gohan, they came to rescue Oob, Soror, and Rakutsu.
Yeah.
And in the middle of this, Astrid showed up. I don't know what the result of their battle is going to be. Until we see that happening, we have yet to determine what's going on. But what we do know is Oob, Soror, and Rakutsu escaped to the old cave that Gohan used to train at when Piccolo was training him. So that's where they're at.
Oh, yeah. Remember you mentioning that. So, yeah, it's kind of cool how they go back to the cave that Gohan
Well,
used to
Gohan
train.
told him to go there because they were like, we need a place to stay because they know where Kame House is. They're like, hey,
Yeah.
go to the old cave I used to train at.
You think the ESF are gonna go and arrest Master Roshi? Just take him away in a fucking in one of a flying machine or something?
They wouldn't be able to.
No.
You
Well,
just beat them up.
well, they could once they rebuilt Model X, he could probably arrest them. So.
Oh well, yeah. It takes
Alright.
some time rebuilding Model X though.
All right, shipping news. Shipping news.
We don't have any new ships.
Rikutsu girlfriend is dead. Yes, that is sad.
Yep.
And how will it affect Rikutsu? Will it change him? Will it mold him into something more good or more evil? We don't know. What about Radazu and Corona? For anybody who doesn't know, Radazu is basically who Blues plays as a Saiyan NPC for the Saiyan Stellar Army, which are the Saiyans that retreated to after the Turles Saga. Some of them retreated to planet Sadala and took it over. So, make a long story short, and Radazu is his NPC, and Corona's been it's one of the longest living NPCs on the site, pretty much. That's in constant battles and shit, as a basically a villain. So I like her. She earned Commodore Corona earned a color, a blue color in her name because she's been here that long. So she's a rising NPC star on the show, I think. So what do you think, Blues? Do you think they're gonna have something going on? Is there gonna be Saiyan romance? I know you love that shit. That's what the Blues loves. He loves the romance.
Nah.
Oh, okay. Oh man, you're just dashing.
Romance is appropriate when it needs to be, but I mean, I'm not gonna be. That's not the main thing I do.
You need to add more romance into your plots, Blues. The people demand it.
Why?
The people
Why?
demand it. All right.
What is the purpose? What is the purpose?
You're gonna bring in more of a broader audience because there are some people who love the romance. Spanish Gohan loves the romance.
That's what we got. That's what we got. That's what we got Kadogan and Xanthi for.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're gonna move on to Rom's Arpeer scale. This is the most advanced scale that has ever come up in the community, in the DBZ RPG forum community, to judge all RPers. So we'll start from the bottom. Me and Blues will explain, because this is the prototype. In fact, I got to put in this is going to be version 1.0 because we're going to make new versions of it as we go along. So this is 1.0. The lowest of the low of RPers in the community is the Abyssal RPer. This RPer is so trash he doesn't even exist on our plane of existence, and should be out of sight and ignored at all times. That is truth, because this person is so awful and egregious that he cannot function on the site. And thus,
you've moved on then, Rom. You're totally not upset about the whole Abyss thing or Anthology. You're totally not.
And thus, the Abyssal RPer doesn't exist because they cannot function on sites. But they tried.
Rom, were you even there? Were you even there when we were doing the Abyssal plot?
Yeah, I was there for some of it or all of it. It was some weird shit, man. It was like were the Abyssals like just demons or some shit, right? Or something. They
were really weird, really OP demons.
Yeah, it was Gree's idea. So, this
No, it was I think it was Tenia's idea. I think
it was taken straight out of fucking Dark Souls.
Yeah, so it was Tenia's idea, but I think Gree just got in on it.
I thought it was Gree's idea. I guess it could have been Tenia's. Okay.
No, it was Tenia's, because everything Dark Souls or League of Legends was like Tenia and Ribbon.
Okay. Well, yeah. See, you guys have better memories than me, because I barely remember that shit. But I do remember Abyssal.
You just hold the longest grudges because the Abyss pisses you off still.
I don't hold grudges. I make fun of it. It is just funny to me. But I don't hold grudges. I mean, I got along with Tenya and Riven on a Summit, and I never had really. It wasn't them that was the problem. It was that other guy. Atemo was the problem, because he wanted to kill everybody off if you didn't RP with him in his saga. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go with Zuko over to Broken Destiny. How about that instead? And so, yeah, I don't really hold the grudges against them. I just find some of the shit that we used to do funny. So, and then we go up the list to the Nether.
So he's using Antho Clown as a fucking insult.
Yeah, I do like the Antho Clown. That's staying. That's just so fucking good. We might need to come up with one in between Noob RP and Antho Clown, though. I'm not, or above it, but I'm not sure. This is a scientific, proven method of rank so far. So next we have above the Abyssal RPer is a Nether Ape RPer. Now the Nether Ape RPer is an RPer that cannot be civilized, cheats power games, out of character drama equals in character actions, and just all in all is a net negative to the site. They often will never learn from their mistakes and will repeat them. Now, I actually know people who are like, there's actually nobody on this.
Never learning.
Like, actually, the people on the site are not that bad. They're not that horrible. There are people I do know who are that bad, but like the Abyssal, they don't usually last long in sites, or they keep moving around.
So we're talking like Midnight and his cheating role plays.
Yeah, but the problem with Midnight, I talked to Blues about this last night, is I like Midnight. Like he it's almost like he doesn't know any better, because he and that's the sad part, because he's not a bad
man from every site he's been on for doing the same shit.
Yeah,
just blames the toxicity on the site because he can't figure out that he's fucking up.
Yeah, it's almost, dude. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I know what site he's on now. I really thought about being his henchman so I could just crash and burn with him. Like, it'd be exciting. It's like being like in Hitler's army or something. It's like gonna fall apart. It's like 1945. It's like I'm going down with this guy. And it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I'll come put a bag.
So it's like basically a Doom plot. So I would RP with him for that, just to watch me crash and burn with him. I'd be like his henchman, and he's like, I mean, if he would survive long enough on a site out of character anyways. But, yeah, so, they're pretty rare to see them. But some Nether Apes are very persistent, and they keep moving around, so that's what I should put in the description. They will sometimes get kicked off of sites, but constantly move around to other sites. Almost like gypsies. I'm not racist. This is a comedy show, folks. Alright, so we're moving on. We've done Nether Ape. Now we move on to the Noob RPer. Sometimes the Noob RPer is mistaken for an Abyssal or a Nether Ape. That's when the staff have to come in and know the difference. So that way they're not scaring off noobs. I've seen it on sites in situations where noobs are basically told to fuck off, or they're not even given a chance, and that's a damn shame, especially in this incarnation of the community, because there barely are any new noobs coming in. It's like almost like Blues generation, and I guess that technically I'd be a part of that. I mean, we were kind of the last influx of people that I know of. Yeah, everybody I know is either before that or around that time coming in. I don't know that. Like I was saying, I don't know too many new noobs coming into the community. The last time seemed like a large influx of noobs was around when we all joined, because we're all around the same the 2013 era noobs, but everybody's either from that or from way beyond that, in the past. Like say Hakutsai or or Iona or something. Like they come from further back. So,
Yeah.
So you have the noob RP.
When I used to play, we had to carve out your fucking post on clay tablets and send it to each other.
Yes, that's how far back.
Yeah,
So we know
Mesopotamia RP and his fucking cat boys.
Yeah. The biggest lesson to learn about a noob RP is you give them time. You see who they turn out to be. Will they become, well, you know, you're going to see what they're going to become, an Abyssal or a Nether Ape, or they could become an Antho Cloud or the Rising. There's 4 options for them to go. But they have to choose the path. So now we move from noob RP to the Antho Clown. An RP that has ascended from Nether Ape to Antho Clown. Often has the same attributes of the Nether Ape, but can operate as an RP in a civilized RPG society. But it's no substance, but yet is not such a detriment that they are banned. So they're in a very gray kind of area. They're like, they're there, but they're not really there, and they're annoying. But they're just functional enough to where people don't want to get rid of them, especially in this era of the community where we have a shortage of RPers to begin with. That's the real thing. If this was like 2010, and we had, you know, you could be a little bit more pickier with your RPers. So this is the Antho Clown era, I would say, around this time.
The clown era.
So, and there are Antho Clowns out there. They're all over the place. And what's the difference between an Antho Clown and the Rising? Is the Rising strive to improve themselves and they change. The Antho Clowns do not. They stay at Antho Clown levels. And thus they are the Antho Clowns. The Rising are Pierce! Yes!
I want to interrupt for a second. Hang on a second.
What?
So you're saying I contribute nothing to the site, Blues? Because you keep referring to me as an Antho Clown.
Who, me or you?
What?
Who says that?
What?
Well, you keep calling me an Antho Clown.
I never called.
The definition of an Antho Clown. Yeah, you fucking did.
When?
See,
Several
I think
times during this today.
See, look. I think he was calling you that before he came up with the actual definition of what an Antho Clown is. Because we made this scale up like last night.
Yeah.
And he's been calling me it all today. Calling me it all today. So
I didn't call you. I don't think I called you an Antho Clown today. I just said Antho Clown in the chat, but it wasn't directed at anybody. But in my honest opinion, you alternate between Antho Clown and the Rising RPer. It always alternates. Because sometimes you do.
Oh no, I haven't been calling it, but I would say you are one. Oh, okay, I see.
Because there's some shit I really like that you do, but then other days you do horrible shit that I'm like, this guy.
From the guy who decides to just wantonly at random blow up a city because for the lols.
I never
for the drama.
He's got a point. He's got a point.
I never said I don't have a few Antho Clown traits to me, because I come from that side of the community too.
Rom, you're a Nether Ape.
I'm not. Fuck you. I ain't no Nether Ape.
You're a Nether Ape.
The savagery from Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're fucking Nether Ape, man.
Fuck you,
But
Blues.
when we were coming up with this scale, I just constantly kept calling him a Nether Ape.
Yeah, he's just constantly.
He has Antho Clown tendencies, but he's.
I do have a few Antho Clown tendencies, I will admit. So I am not immune to the criticism of the scale, because the scale,
like straight up, 90% of the time we have any sort of conflict, Blues, it's because you are, for the sake of your plot, shatting on canon.
Yeah,
and it's just like.
Well, you're talking to Blues, so you go get him, Iona.
Anytime we have conflict, Rom.
Oh, me?
When you're
I thought you were talking to Blues.
Of my plot.
Why am I involved in it? I thought you were talking to Blues. Okay, now I'm in it. Well, we don't.
That's the thing. We only time we clash is when you're shitting on canon. I'm there like, the fuck's sake, dude, this, and this.
Well,
and you know what? I'm gonna have fun doing the same thing. I have got a plot in mind, and I'm just gonna relentlessly pursue it at this point, and you're gonna hate me for it.
Well, me and Blues did talk about being a little bit more flexible with plots. I mean, I usually am, but that plot was just so planned out so far back in advance. I mean...
Yeah, which was the detriment.
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't... And then I never expected Blues to bust out... Because I thought, like, I already told Blues the solution is, instead of doing, like, surprise events, I'm going to let him know ahead of time of kind of what we want to do. Because I have a tendency to do surprise events, and so...
Like the Moth Violet one recently.
Yes, that's the one I was talking to him about. So we do learn from our mistakes, at least at that part. But, as far as...
That's a straight miracle.
As far as canon... As far as the canon shit, we kind of follow the canon, but we're kind of, I mean, both me and Blues are kind of in the same mentality that we'll bend canon if it's more interesting to do it a certain way. So it really is.
See, but at the point you do that, the problem we have is the point you do that, everything everyone else knows goes out of the fucking window.
Yeah, I mean.
And so we don't know what canon is currently in your head, and that's the one you're operating off of. It causes some problems with other people who quote unquote know what things are about, and suddenly they're not.
I mean, I think there's certain things that are less detrimental than others. Like, I mean, Sodala being how it is doesn't really affect really anybody. I mean, you'd have to explain if somebody wanted to actually play a Sodala saying you're like, then it would be a problem because then I'd have to explain it to them.
So far from your bit, you have adjusted the culture of the Saiyans. You have changed Salad entirely from what it was in Universe 7, albeit only minorly mentioned.
Yeah.
Anyone coming along as a Saiyan has to now conform to your Saiyans rather than their opinion of a Saiyan.
Yeah, I mean,
they could always go to Vegeta.
Yeah.
Except the Vegetan Saiyans have been changed as well.
It's a good point, but I mean, if I run it through Blues and he's cool with it, I mean, basically it is canon, and I mean, at least for the site.
Except it's not.
The problem is we haven't...
Site canon needs to be very clearly defined out in places. And alternate options. I'm making a Saiyan. You need to introduce some kind of like PTO remnant of the Saiyans who can do standard Saiyan shit.
Yeah, I mean, we probably should write the shit down, but that's all on Blues now. So.
Yeah, I'm writing it down anyway. I just haven't posted it yet.
Because if I was still an admin, that would probably be partially my responsibility, but it's not anymore. So. I mean, it's not. I'll tell Blues how I think of the. I think they.
Speaking of just randomly changing things, I mean, it is something of an annoyance to me. While I am, not necessarily the strongest fucker on the site, watching people who just go, "Oh well, PRP, I'm just going to shake up a planet because I felt like it. I'm going to snap my fingers and take over a fucking planet." No, some of us have to spend months building a character enough to try that shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, I have a certain style of doing things, and, like, I guess you're talking more Sadala, but Sadala was kind of like a combined effort. Like, Blues knew what I was doing, and, we kind of was a collab kind of thing we were thinking about doing, as an extension of that saga for future shit. I mean, hell, there was nobody was doing anything with it anyway, so I'm like, okay, well, I can make some shit happen and make it look good. So, I mean, that's what's going on with Hell right now. But, it's just an alternative path to what I'm trying to do, so. And if nobody's using it or doing anything with it, then I can kind of just have more freedom to create stuff that interests me, like in Hell or in Demon World. It's only now that people are kind of interested in Hell and Demon World, of course.
No, the moment I made a Fallen Kai, they had ties to the fucking Demon Realm. I just wasn't mentioning it until I got unsealed and could summon my fucking minions back.
Yeah, but I mean, the only thing I've really definitely said about Demon World is that Dabura runs it right now. That's it. So I mean, it's not that.
I mean, if we've had the Boo Saga, he might not be anymore, as he got made good and was in heaven.
Yeah, I mean, but he is a master in Demon World, right?
That's what I mean. I'm kind of curious to that, because how are we reacting to the fact that Dabura went to heaven after he died to Boo Saga?
I don't fucking know. That's kind of retarded.
Well, he was Majin the whole time, so someone else was playing him and controlling him. So his actions weren't his own, and therefore he has been atoned for that when he got killed by Boo.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's like the best logic I can come to as to why he would be in heaven and not in hell.
I don't know. I guess because if they sent him
Because
back to
at
hell,
the end of the way,
he wanted to do
the
again.
demon realm isn't necessarily evil.
Yeah, it's just the demon realm.
It's just where demons happen to live.
Remember, this is Japanese mythology.
I know.
Demons are not inherently evil.
They're not inherently evil. Some of them are, and indeed there is a dark energy of the demon, which probably sends them a bit up the fucking wall, but that's probably why it got sealed away. What with all the dark Kais being there fucking with shit.
I mean, my vision of Demon World is a lot like from Yu Yu Hakusho, like where there are good and bad.
Of course it fucking is.
Well, that's my reference from. So
Rather than looking at the demon realm from Dragon Ball, you just have to go to a different anime and take it from.
Yeah, because they don't have. I don't know what the fuck Dragon Ball. I mean, it's probably so obscure it doesn't make any sense. Or you could make it Yu Yu Hakusho anyway.
The demon realm in Dragon Ball Z is just the demon realm. That's all it is.
It's just a place where the demons exist, mostly ruled over by the fucking fallen Kai. It got sealed up because of some fucker from Heroes who got too fucking powerful. Because, you know, most of the demon realm stuff happened during Heroes and it's online.
Yeah, and Heroes is not canon, so.
Except we're using Chrononoa from it. If Chrononoa's there, her rival should therefore be there, which is the guy who basically rolled over the demon realm and got it sealed away.
Hey, her name is Corona, okay? It's Corona.
I mean, our demon realm follows the same fucking path as the Dragon Ball one, from what I'm going to refer to currently as pseudo-canon, i.e. the extended Dragon Ball world, involving stuff that's not Toriyama made, but Toriyama approved.
I think...
Yeah, he's there.
I don't know, just figure, like, maybe...
Which means the guy in charge of Hell, possibly might be worth switching out Dabura for, I can't remember, I think it's Mecha Gabura or something stupid like that.
Maybe events
or even fucking Demigra could be in there instead of Dabura.
Maybe in Legends
they would actually be the it would actually be the guys in charge, being the supreme Kais that happen to run the place for the last god knows how many million years.
Maybe in Legend verse, instead of them, like, you know, sending Dabura to heaven, he just goes to hell and then he gets back in the, you know, in the demon world and takes it back over. There's a solution. There's a solution.
You're going to say that Dabura manages to take out the guy that trumps him hard.
Who trumped him? Are you talking about like
either Demigra or Mecha Kabura, who both kind of shit on him?
I mean,
I didn't play Xenoverse, so I don't know anything about Demigra.
I mean, that's the problem too, is I haven't played Xenoverse either, so I don't know about them.
A quick wiki search on the Dragon Ball wiki will bring up all of the shit I usually quote at you guys. Like, seriously, it's not even depth research.
But what if we don't want to follow that canon? Like, I just like it's better if Dabura runs it. Like, we can bring those people in later. Like, we're not following the canon like that strictly. It's just we don't kind of just go with the flow. Just sometimes, it's just what works. Man, I'm really starting to feel this sake right now, man. I'm getting like hippie-ish and shit. Like, we're going with the flow, man. Why are you trying to go against the river? We're going with the river, downstream. Chilling.
Except for the part where you just said you weren't. Here's the river. You've just gone off this way and dug your own course instead.
No, you got to go with the flow of the site. You know, you're going upstream against, you know, with this canon stuff. You got to go with the flow, man. The flow of legend. The river of legends. It wants to take you downstream. Chillax. I don't know if that made any fucking sense, but I mean,
it didn't.
Yeah, but
we just want to do our own thing. Fuck the canon. Even though that's what you guys know and we're there for you role playing to. We want you to do other stuff. It's great.
Look, man. I mean,
into rest mode. Okay, that's enough PS4.
Yeah, Blues, get into this podcast conversation. I'm getting double teamed by...
I get it, you want to AU it a little bit, but you've got to make it very clear how much you're AUing. After all, currently what you told us is that up to Z, we are canon. With all the past printing stuff, we are canon as well. Except we're not.
Well, the problem, too, is...
Hold on.
We never... I mean, the problem with Legends, honestly, was it was half-built. Like, it was never...
That kind of shows in the lacking stat system, what can I say?
Well, not only that, but like the canon shit you're talking about, because this should have all been kind of thought out beforehand, but it requires a lot of effort and shit, and we didn't have...
I just wanted the RP.
Yeah, let's just be honest. Blues, where are you going?
Alright, and this is why I've changed tactics. Instead of using COVID and staying out of the way of shit, I've gone for a character straight out of messing with canon, and I'm going to just Well, frankly, that photo I posted in comedy is going to become very accurate to what I'm going to do to places soon.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I figure you know you're gonna do something with that Kai, the fallen Kai guy. So I mean, if we're doing what we're doing, we can't really stop you from doing what you're doing. So I mean, there was a way we could have, but this would have had to been implemented at the beginning. And then, like I told Blues, what we should have had is we should have had some cannons with some, I mean, not cannons, but NPCs with some stats to at least slow down just a fucking steamroll of a conquest or something. But I mean, we don't have that, and Blues doesn't really want to do it. So I'm like, well, you know,
I'm all down for some statted NPCs to come up against and actually have a stat battle for my conquests. You know, I even suggested something to Blues today.
Yeah, yeah.
Get the fuck on. I will murder everything you throw at me.
Well, I mean, that's the point. It's not supposed to hinder so much. Well, I mean, it is supposed to hinder, but it's not supposed to stop a character. It's supposed to like make it seem like it's hard, you know, to conquer the universe. At least in some worlds. I mean, I'm sure there's some pushover ones, but you know what I mean. You know, these worlds will put up resistance and stuff. So, but we don't have that, and so there's a very huge power vacuum in space, and I really don't feel like giving a lot of stats to Rom. I mean, he's more for plot than he is for stats, and this is again another problem with having pure RP and stats on the same site, because it's like if I don't feel like playing stats, you know, but others are, you know, if I want to keep doing what I'm doing, I might have to do stats at least to hold Sadala, you know, for a while to do it. So, I mean, I mean, if you take, like, Planet Vegeta, I don't really think I could really do it. Like, I suggested the Blues is that you give Paragus at least a high power level in his base form. You know, at least...
Not to be rude, I'd be offended if Paragus was strong. Because he was literally recorded in Dragon Ball Super Broly, which is the one film you said was canon, about 3,000 PL?
I'd probably just give him a high base, but no, like, Super Saiyan or anything. But, I mean, yeah, maybe even lower, like...
He was a weakling!
Well, he is the king. Well, he is the... I mean, he is the king now, so he has to be somewhat strong.
No! He just took over, everyone else is fucking dead!
Yeah. Well, would you mind... I mean, when do you get your first transformation? At 100,000 in the game? Mm-hmm. This game? So, I don't know, I'd give, like, Paragus, like, 50,000. That's not that high. Or is it...
I would make Paragus weak as shit and have some ballin' bodyguards with him.
Yeah,
some OP Saiyans or, like, Zorn or some fucker and have some beefcake bodyguards. Paragus being some one-shot little bitch.
I mean, you could do it like that, too. I mean, that would be unique in a way. If it was
I mean, you could even go really ham with this, and Paragus pulls out his secret fucking weapon. Broly 1, 2, 3, and Bio Broly!
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could also... I mean, I don't know if you'd want to bring in Brawly, because, I mean, he would be super fucking strong. Unless he just didn't know Super Saiyan yet, or whatever. So he could just be like... I don't know, or he could have Super Saiyan 1. I don't know, Blues. You gotta... I mean... There's nothing...
See, and right here we have the literal interpretations via canon versus non-canon here. You're like, oh, I just want to make him, like, strong enough to almost be, but not a Super Saiyan, when... Within canon and his general plotline is that he is a complete fucking pans in comparison to the various fighters in play. His brought Broly to the mix.
I mean, it's more to keep him on level with everybody else since he's like the leader.
No. You don't need him to be on level. Just someone in his employ on level. Paragus wields power. He doesn't own.
Yeah, that's a good point. You could have like Brawly or somebody else be strong.
That's literally his thing. He does it via other people. If he's going to be a static character, he needs to have like some OP henchman's tactic where his stat line's actually on his henchman, not on him.
Yeah, and you know,
there needs to be a fucking fighting style in the site at some point if we start refining the fighting system. There needs to be a minion master class, so your stat line is fucked, but it goes onto your henchman instead.
Yeah, I mean that's not. Yeah, I mean there are villains who are like that, who they have stronger henchmen than they are, or they're just like they have other qualities to them, like they're super smart or something. So yeah, I mean that makes sense to me. It's Blues though. Where did Blues go? He's still there.
I'm right here.
He's just listening to all this like fuck all these people. It's gonna liquidate them all. It's gonna go Stalin. Send them to the gulag. Nah. What do you think about all this, Blues? This got good. I almost forgot we were doing a fucking podcast.
Think about all what?
About all we were talking
I'm
about.
paying no fucking attention.
And now Corbin's really.
I mean, what do you want me to respond to? It's like it's a nebulous question.
I mean, you might want to start thinking about having like NPCs populate certain planets. I mean, you could do it with the ESF too. Technically, you can give like Model X.
I mean,
stats.
in general, both heroes and villains need to exist in these worlds and be happening. So you need to, at some point, make the world feel like a world.
Yeah, I would agree with that. See, sometimes me and Iona agree on things.
I was embarrassed by Rom's takeover of Salad, considering what the place was meant to be like. It was just like, the hell was this bullshit?
Well,
it was half tempted to do something I said I was never going to do and have Ellery just go full on and smack something to the ground.
Well,
I'm doing that because that's shit. And I don't
fucking goddamn it. The reason that it happened like that is because
the reason it happened like that is because you wanted it to happen like that. You didn't want to have the resistance or acknowledge the fact that the Salad Saiyans are the strongest motherfuckers in Universe 7.
I mean, yeah, they're strong in that universe, but we're talking about
they are the strongest motherfuckers in Universe 7. They have Super Saiyan 3 level power anyway, and the Super Saiyan God form at their disposal. They would fuck Romanus and his group.
Yeah, but they didn't have it in this universe because, like I said, there was a little. I actually explained the backstory. So the reason
just made up a different version of Salad.
Yeah, because it's an alternate universe, so there's going to be alternate planets and alternate outcomes. So the reason it went down like that is because this is kind of the remnants of plots.
Shut up a second. So what you're saying is you've changed the backstory of Dragon Ball for your own game.
We changed it so the plot would work, so that way the Saiyans would have
changed the backstory of the site for your own game.
No, this is the backstory of the site. Like it's different from the actual canon. It's just how we wanted it, so that way we could have the remnants of these Saiyans.
Let me say it a third time.
What?
So when was this history posted somewhere?
I mean, we haven't posted it because we're understaffed right now. We don't have anybody to do this shit.
Why was that again? Didn't someone get rid of all their stuff?
Yep, I sure fucking
Because
did.
we couldn't get along, and it was the best move at the time. Because if Blues had kept me or Forte, it would have looked like he had chosen a side. So his best move was to get rid of everybody. Because
Didn't he only get rid of 40 because of certain things involving Gree?
I mean, Gree had his opinions, but I mean, and his opinions were valid as far as like, because he had a whole bunch of other people who made a lot of sense to me too. So, but granted, they haven't done anything.
So you were willing to kick out an admin who rescued the Endless Saga for the sake of showing up?
Well, Blues
claimed they would be amazing if he disappeared.
I think Blues already added Forte back as a mod anyway. So I mean, we get him to do the fucking shit. He likes to write all that bullshit, so let him do it. I'm going to be busy with Zeta, so even if I wanted to be an admin or pushed Blues, I couldn't do it really anyway, so I'm good with that, because I'll be running the sister site. And that's going to solve a lot of problems in itself anyways. I'm going to have a lot lighter footprint on this site, so I won't have so many clashes with people. So we've already been thinking way ahead of this shit. And I'll have Blues and certain other people as admins on Zeta. And you can transfer your character stats in between each site so that they are going to be connected as alternate, or like basically sister universes that are next to each other. So, but it's going back to Sadala. Sadala is really a remnant of when I was an admin with Blues, and we had planned this all out. So we're just carrying out what the plans were anyways. And yes, we will alter and change plot if it makes the story better, because the Saiyans that had fought.
I'm talking about changing backstory to the site. You've changed what assumed for everyone else to be part of the history.
I don't think we had any backstory for Sadala, so we just created this.
Exactly. Therefore, the only thing we can draw on is the canon Sadala of what little canon there was for Sadala.
But we don't need it. We don't.
Which canonically, Super has happened and is canon. Did you having this backstory?
So
how Sadala had some fuck off war and made the Super.
So I guess my question is, you don't mind if we alter or change it as long as we write it down.
If you've done
Right.
it in advance.
Well, we
Right?
did it.
If you'd established this beforehand and not just rocked up on salad as we were going, hang on a second, aren't these guys like stupidly swole compared to our current crop of stable of characters?
Well,
And then you show up with the assistant and tell me that's the only thing that matters on that site, on that planet.
well, that's the problem with how we've been doing things. Well, I don't consider it a problem. It's just
You feel that you've been doing it retroactively rather than ahead of what you're doing, if that makes sense.
well, nothing
You
was.
show up and we go, hang on, what about X, Y, Z? And you go, oh, well, that's not a problem because of this. Well, that would have been nice for you to actually establish this before we brought up the problem.
Well, you got to understand the saga was done on the fly to begin with. Like we literally. I mean, we didn't have it planned out from the beginning, so this is just another example of us not planning the saga out like it should have been, and so as a natural extension, we had to make up a backstory of Sadala on the fly, and
You fucking didn't. There was an established backstory for it.
but we didn't want to use that backstory because it would have.
I didn't want to use it because, frankly, I quite like the original Salem backstory.
Now, we could still use some of it, like they could discover these powers and stuff eventually. Or, Rom and them could hunt them down, it could be like a MacGuffin or something. So we could still use that, it's just not the current state of things on the planet. And to be fair, like I've talked to Blues about it, this was all done for plot. I don't actually plan to just actually officially have Rom rule the planet. It's just for plot purposes.
It's the spot where you are, and it has nothing to do with anyone else, because no
But
one's
it-
in the fucking space because of how expensive spaceships are.
But it's pure RP. I mean, yeah, you could technically go there and I guess fucking ruin the plot. But and this is why I suggested to Blues you could creating these NPCs, because I'm gonna assume that that's what you're exactly going to do with that Kai character. Is you're gonna start knocking over basically these dominoes in this vacuum, because it really is just pure RP out there. And I don't know if I really feel like. I mean, I guess I could have Rom go defend Vegeta, but it's not even really in his interest. I could give Rom stats for Sadala, but I don't really want to give him that much stats. I would rather divide it between probably Moth Island and Rom, I guess, at this point. I don't even know anymore. Hold on, let me, I need to get an Addy, because I'm getting kind of tired. I don't know why. Yes, kids, we do Addies. Don't worry, these are legal. I get them from the military. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
This
They all say.
is why you don't do uppers and downers at the same time. I need to be as energetic as fucking Iona, because goddamn, he's really like running circles around us as far as energy goes. So,
See, recently I had a fuck it moment in the Discord, and you lit a fire under my ass, and this is the result. I have been non-stop writing to Shihai since.
oh yeah, I think I remember why, because I thought that you created that character out of what I said, so I was like, oh shit, so he kind of does react to things like that. I know exactly what you're talking about. It was the time
I just finally hit a point of fuck it when I kept hearing the same thing about the site canon being completely fucked. And I just went fuck it and made a character who doesn't quite conform to the canon. Because fuck this.
Nobody said
burn it all.
Nobody said you had to conform to canon. Now, I don't know if you should try to burn everything. I don't think Blues is going to like that too much, but I mean, because I mean,
everyone is welcome to stop me. I don't.
Alright. What do you got to say all that, Blues? You're being awfully quiet.
Yeah.
God, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to have, like, opinions and stuff.
I'm doing work.
You're working right now?
So you can be A-okay. What
do you mean? Are you doing, like, site work or actual, like, real work?
Yes, site work. Yeah.
Oh, god damn it, Iona. He's supposed to be doing the fucking podcast. Now you got him writing and shit. And angry.
I'm not fucking writing.
Oh.
I already wrote today.
I mean, honestly, I think I'd rather have Blues doing site work over a podcast. I mean, one of the which seems more valuable to me.
I mean, the podcast is good. We're supposed to do it once a week. Alright, so... Yeah, so I guess, Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just gonna. I mean, there's certain things we're just not gonna agree on as far as like canon and stuff. But I mean, I don't really see it as a problem because we could always bring in more of that stuff.
Of course you do. You get to do what you want that way.
Yeah, but like I said, this was already like planned out during the saga when I was still an admin with Blues. So it's not like I'm going off the rails doing my own thing. Now you can say that about Hell, but nobody was ever doing anything with it. So I mean, I made it interesting, and it's not really like they're Moth Violet or Moth Yokai are really like running the shit as so much as they're just trying to survive in the chaos of it. And every side is well represented. There's no like weaklings.
Interesting for whom?
Well, for me. If certain people want to join, that's fine. I mean, technically I can't even stop anybody from joining. But like I said, I mean, like I told Blues, it's like, look, I don't mind people joining, but if I feel like they're trying to derail it or on purpose, out of character motivations, not like in character, then I'll just take it to the forums and do it there. I mean, because I'm kind of fed up with a lot of shit to where it's like, okay, well, I try to be nice to people, I tried to work with them, so if that's not going to work, then I could just do my own things with select people, and it would be actually kind of more of the status quo around here, because that's how it is for a lot of things. I mean, to be fair, Spanish Gohan's starting to do more things, and he did offer me, he wanted me to do some things with Gohan, but I wasn't in the fucking mood at the time. Because, I mean, I've tried to RP with that guy so many times, and, the one time he actually does want to RP with me, I wasn't in the fucking mood. I'm like, no, I don't want to RP with him right now. And I don't have to, because I'm not an admin, so I don't have to entertain people like I used to. And you can say that's mean, but, I mean, like I said, I'm not an admin, so I don't have to if I don't want to. And so that day I didn't want to. So it is what it is. I mean, that's kind of the norm as far as members go on any site. If they don't feel like doing something, they're not going to do it. So I could be like a higher person or something, but I mean, I don't have the energy for that shit right now. If I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. So damn it, my fucking cubicle thing. Whatever, I'll do that later. So let's see. So we did Antho Clown. We're going to the Rising RPer. Now the Rising RPer.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. No, we gotta wait for Blues to come back to finish it up. And let's see what else we got. The Canon matchup, Canon OC matchup: Piccolo versus Astrid, Bull and Pan versus Rikutsu. Out of character banners and ranters. So we still got a lot to do on the podcast. How long have we been doing this? Because we did get off the rails a little, but that's not too bad. We got some good subjects. And drama is good for the podcast, so I like it. I'm just wish I was a little more energetic for it. So my bad on that one, folks. Been in for an hour. Are you back, Blues?
Yeah.
All right, let's run through this. We still got a good amount of podcasts to do. So let's just go through it, and we'll get down to some of the other stuff. So the Rising RPer. We already done Antho Clown. We kind of went off the rails on that one. So the Rising RPer. An RPer is no longer a noob and must now sharpen their skills and status. So this is the RPer who constantly improves, but there are people who actually stay at this level. For whatever reason, maybe they're just a casual RPer, but they're actually good. But they don't want to get so deep into things that they have to put a lot of time into it. Because I know of quite a few RPers who are kind of like that. They're very good RPers, but they don't have the time, or they just, for whatever reason, they don't want to be more involved in the site. And I don't really blame them. I mean, if you got a lot of stuff going on, so the Rising RP is a good place to be. It's a good middle position, and it's respectable. So noob RPers is respectable too, because they don't know any better. So the movers, these are the experienced RPers, often move a site with influence, They're deeply involved in plots. They can be staff or admins, have influence in the plot. Characters are powerful, which, you know, sometimes that's not a good thing when they have a powerful character if they don't have other qualities, but it is what it is. They earned it. And or have out-of-character charisma, being well-liked and respected by member and staff. And to be fair, anybody who's a mover usually doesn't have all these qualities. You know, they have a few of them. Because I've never met somebody who was like that good. You know, they were either good at RPing, but they were just like horrible out of character, or vice versa. I mean, you're just gonna get a whole mix of different movers. But these can be members or staff, but are not the Shakers level. Yeah, because the Shakers are like the fucking rare people that last. So I was arguing with Blues. I was like, Blues is like, I'm a Shaker. It's like, well, you're technically bare bones because you're running a site, but you have to run it for a very long time to be a Shaker. Like if you can run this if you can run it consecutively for 5 years, I'd be like, yeah, he's a Shaker. And it also depends if you can grow your site, you know, and keep it. I mean, that's the difference. Like you could talk shit about like Arena Vegeta or Alex or I don't know who owns Souls. I don't know like who owns that site, but a lot of these sites that have lasted a very long time, those are kind of like Shakers. They're like at a whole different level because you could be a mover and just be a member. I've known plenty of like, you know, people who are that influential or just that good. Like Gats and Bell on Arena, for example, would be a good one. They just ended up quitting because they had other shit to do. But they were very influential and they had very powerful characters. So, so the Shakers. The Shakers are the moves. Excuse me. Damn it. Hold on for a minute. God, I gotta get over these allergies, man. The Shakers are the movers who have transited to the role of admins. These are the rare, well-balanced admins who can shake up the community. They have the experience as our peers, as former members of sites, have social intelligence, charisma, leadership skills, writing plot, structure skills. These admins can run a site for decades. They are elite. And it's like the movers, all admins have their strengths and weaknesses, so they generally don't have, you know, they might not have charisma or social intelligence, but for whatever reason they can still run a site. Those are like bean counters. They're good at organizing, but they're fucking shit at social interactions. I'm actually kind of the opposite. Though I kind of fuck up the charisma part because I piss off a lot of people, but I can talk to people all day. But I'm not much of a bean counter. So, but I can talk all day, make friends and shit. It just depends. I just don't have the patience for certain people, man. It's just like, you know, and maybe that is a flaw of mine. That's why at the beginning of the site, it was pretty unanimous that Blues was going to run it because he has more patience than me with people because I don't. And, you know, maybe I'm going to have to learn that when running Zeta, but, I mean, it just depends, I guess. I'm not fully throwing my, you know, style of doing things away either, so. There we go. There's the ROM, our pure scale 1.0. And now we move on. We're moving on. So, alright. So you're up, Blues. Canon and OC matchups. What do you think about Piccolo versus Astrid?
Well, they haven't finished it, so.
Well, who do you think is going to come out on top?
Maybe Piccolo, but Astrid will definitely use this to his advantage.
He uses everything to his advantage. I mean, that's the thing about Astrid is, it's not so much his fighting ability as he just tries to manipulate, you know, the people around him through like other people's actions, or just trying to bend certain certain events to benefit him. So he is very Machiavellian for a Dragon Ball Z villain. You know, I mean, even with his bad side, his alter ego shit. I mean, it's just another. I mean, yeah, you could say that's it, but it's another way for him to hide who he really is and shit. You know, it kind of goes with his whole kind of, you know, Astrid style of being a villain. So, I mean, I think Piccolo could beat Astrid, you know, with power.
Of course.
So, I mean, I don't fucking know. I mean, it's whatever at this point to me. So that's my answer. Piccolo's gonna beat him. So, let's see, Bola and Pan versus Rakutsu. I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, if we're talking about the Pan and Bola from our site, it depends on how much they train. You'd actually have to ask. You'd actually have to ask the, you know, who plays them how much they actually do train, and then do they have Super Saiyan? Because if they have Super Saiyan, Rakutsu's going to have a lot of trouble, even though he's very tough for a human. So, I mean, honestly, I'd actually say Bola and Pan at this point, because I know they can go Super Saiyan, so, I mean, that's kind of... It would have been actually... that should have been, like, Pan versus Rakutsu or Bola. Let's do Bola versus Rakutsu. That's more debate. What do you think, Blues? Who wins, Bola or Rakutsu?
Bola.
Yeah, I'll probably say Bola too, just out of the fact she probably does know Super Saiyan. So it goes to Bola. Now, if we're talking skill alone, not power, I would say it'd go to Rakutsu. But power, it's definitely in Bola's corner. So, out of character banners and ranters. All right. Blues doesn't get paid for the U.S. Census blame Trump. Yeah, you said you're doing this job, but you're not getting paid, and it might be because of the Trump administration. What's going on with that, Blues? Tell us about your normie gripes. Is Blues even here? Am I on? Where's this guy at? I think Blues might have left. Oh shit, I forgot they were even Bola, because Bola has allies that will... I mean, we're talking more of a one-on-one fight. So... Yeah, I mean... If you added more, like, you know, who's allies... I guess, yeah, that would, but, like... No, we're talking, like, one-on-one fights and stuff, for the most part, or, you know, like, two-on-one, so... I mean, most Dragon Ball Z fights are like that, so I don't understand what you mean by that. Blues, where are you at, man? Maybe. I mean, the Z Warriors aren't known for their strategy. They just like to fight. They fight with they think with their fists. Pan's all confused. He's like, "What's going on? Why do you keep talking about Bola?" Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Bola would have more power as a Super Saiyan, but I do say that Rakutsu has more skill. So, but overall, it would probably be Bola would win. 'Cause even though Rakutsu might have more skill, I mean, it's not going to make up for that power gap. So it goes to Bola, as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Well, that's definitely enough sake for today, because I gotta actually stay up and get shit done. So, while Blues isn't here, I'm gonna make a pot of coffee until he gets back, because we can't do the show without him. Well, actually, we could have, but Some of the shit we were going to talk about required him, so it is what it is. I blame fucking Iona. He pissed off Blues. God damn it, Iona. Always.
I mean, never mind the fact that he's not been saying shit and all this whole time. He's actually playing Dragon Ball Z Fighters and doing some side
I know. It hurts me too. Like, come on, dude. We're trying to run a show here. So. Well. It is what it is. Damn it. Just fucking salmon cans. Now the trash is going to smell like fish. Not good. Not good. I'm going to let this get some water. Sorry, folks. I need some caffeine, so I'm going to make coffee right now while Blues is gone. And I don't have the technology to shut down the podcast and just turn it back on. I don't feel like having to piece it together, so let's see if we can discuss anything else while that's going on to keep this shit moving. Let's see. So Blues, yeah, Rom and Blues. Oh no, well, see that Rom's Mystery Inc. Was Moth Violet's plot derailed on purpose? Rom investigates. So I mean, we kind of talked about that. I don't know if it was or not. It's in a gray area because it's like you don't know if people are doing out of character intent. I mean, people, even when they're not trying to do out of character intentions, they kind of do it anyways to a little bit of a degree. But I mean, I don't fucking know. So we don't need to go anymore. It's like trying to. It's a waste of energy to even try that because we don't know. We won't know, so it doesn't matter. So let's see what the other one was. Stoner Piccolo making a comeback. I hope Stoner Piccolo makes a comeback. He plays a really entertaining Piccolo. I think everybody. That's one of the rare things I think a lot of people can agree on. So I really do hope he comes back and he stays. The thing with Stoner Piccolo, he has a lot of. He works like 60 hours. I've done that too on the boats, and it sucks. It's not even. The thing with working 60 hours, it's not even really like doable in the long run. Like it will tear your mental and it'll strain your mental and physical abilities, or whatever you want to call it. It's not good, but you got to do what you got to do. And ain't that the truth? Let's see. So, let me see what the other one is. I'll worry about that shit later. I'll make coffee after the podcast. Let's get this shit done. Alright, so let's get some light in here. So let's see what the other one is. Rom calls members comment... Oh, wait. Why did I put it like that? Rom calls members comments fake news. The case of the rocks in the glass houses. Okay. Fuck. Let's go into that. Yeah, I mean, this thing was, I talked about Blues about. It's like, you know, since I was an admin and kind of going in now, I've kind of pulled my punches with people, and usually it's just out of fun, you know, banner, but like, you know, when people are passive aggressive and shit, you know, I can tolerate up to a point, but I'm gonna eventually like jab back, and generally I jab lightly. So now I'm gonna jab a little harder. And Blues, you know, to me, Blues sometimes he likes to shield members because he's what I honestly think it is he's afraid to lose certain members because we have a shortage of them just in the community in general. But, like, I told him, like, look, I mean, I could try to be turned the other cheek, but, I mean, eventually I'm just going to take a jab at them. And they don't like, a lot of these fuckers don't like when I take jabs back at them. It's just how it is, so. That's all I got to say. It's like, okay, you throw a rock, I'll throw a rock back. And that's just how it's going to be. Let's see. Blues tells Rom to ignore Anthem Clouds. Fuck. Oh, fuck it. We'll just go with it. We'll roll with it. Rom says, nay, kindness is earned and can be revoked. Well, I just talked about that. We don't need to go into more details about that. Right? We just talked about it in the other topic. So, these ones are good. We haven't talked about... Oh, Spanish Gohan. Spanish Gohan steps up his game. Yeah, I mean, he's doing good shit now. He's not just RPing with Heather, he's doing other stuff. And to be fair, he did request me to RP with him, and I just wasn't in the mood. So that's on me, but I already told, I already spoke about that. So, if he changes and turns over a new leaf and he starts RPing and doing stuff, I mean, I'll probably be more interested to RP with him, to be honest. If he's cool with that. So we'll see. These were Rom Blues challenges. We're not going to get to that. Let's see. Anime, comic, and movie news. Yuzaki Challenge becomes more popular because of controversial SJW anime rage. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you bring a lot of attention to something, you're going to make it more popular than it already is. And I've seen clips of that anime, and it's not bad at all. Like, I don't even know what the hell it's the physical features of the character. But it's like, I mean, they're like, oh, well, she looks too young. I mean, she's technically 20, so I mean, if the artists draw her that way, I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, it's not even... It seems like a big deal because it's all over Twitter if you follow certain anime people, but, like, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. And, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot because they've just made the anime more and more popular, so... Robert Pattinson as Batman. Well, that was kind of more of a blues thing, but I've looked at the trailer. It looks all right. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to see the movie because, I mean, the actual trailer didn't impress me that much. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't some shit that wowed me. So, I mean, I guess I'm gonna have to watch the movie to really judge that. And Robert Pattinson, playing Batman. And then Blues put, actor who plays Black Panther dies. I mean, see, that was a Blues thing. Because, I mean, I didn't really watch the Black Panther movies. Or Marvel in general. So that's not something that I'm going to be able to contribute to that much. Let's see. And, now we got Normie news. The Kyle Rittenhouse shit. I mean, I don't know if people know, but where was this even at? It's in Kenosha, Wisconsin, I believe. But there was a shooting involving basically a pro-cop, pro-right-wing militia, 17-year-old kid who shouldn't even had a gun to begin with or cross state lines. And he shot a whole bunch of protesters who were attacking him. So, I was talking to Blues about that and playing devil's advocate. Because first of all, I mean, he's already broken the law in so many ways. Because he wasn't supposed to have the gun. But what they can use as a defense is he's a minor. And also, they can use as a defense that he felt threatened. But, I mean, it's a shitty situation. Because even if they could get away with it, it might spark off a new round of riots. Just like the George Floyd shit. So, I mean, he's going to have to go away for a good amount of years. I mean, he should, in my opinion anyways. But, if they're trying to get him off lightly, I think that's going to cause more problems than they think. So, and I was going to actually play devil's advocate because Blues was going to play the prosecutor and I was going to play the defense. But we can't. We're not doing that today, unfortunately, because I'm running through this. I'm giving the folks what they need. So we're running through this. We're getting done. So. Hurricane Laura struck Louisiana, and it's one of the most powerful storms, and so it's like climate change, and will the government respond properly? I mean, unless you don't believe in climate change, all the scientists who believe in it, which is a majority of the scientific community, are like, they told us this was going to happen. So now we get more powerful storms causing more damage. And, it just seems like this whole fucking year has just been a shit show. Especially for America. It's just like, it's one thing after another. It's really like the perfect storm of just horrible shit. So, I mean, this hurricane... Yeah, I mean, we've had near misses. I mean, look what happened to Puerto Rico. I don't think it was last year, but I think it was a few years ago. There was a very bad hurricane that wrecked Puerto Rico. So, I mean, this shit's going to happen. It's going to get worse unless we stop the warming of the oceans and all that bullshit. So, you know what it is. And judging by the coronavirus fiasco and how the government responded to that, I don't even think they're going to respond properly to the hurricane. I mean, this fucking government's just incompetent. Okay. Then we got the DNC platitudes and virtual signaling, and the RNC convention owning the libs with their culture war rhetoric. And that's the thing. Both parties are talking about things that have nothing to do with the problems in America or in the world in general. They're virtual signaling on the left. On the right, they're going back to the culture wars, which culture wars don't even... I mean, they're so insignificant compared to, like, the major problems we're facing, like 20 years of endless war, or the fact that Flint, Michigan still doesn't have drinking water, and we're supposed to be like a first world nation, but we have places in America that are falling into, like, third world decay, And so it's just a sign of the times, man. Like, it reminds me a lot of the French Revolution. The French Revolution before the French Revolution, like right before it, where like the French nobles were so out of touch with what's really going on that they didn't even see what was coming. And it feels like with our politics is the same way. They're ignoring almost everything of importance and just giving like bullshit platitudes and or want to bicker about the culture wars. About like social justice warriors and shit, which seems kind of juvenile and insignificant these days. So you got that, and you got the New York Exodus, which we didn't see. The thing with America, we didn't really respond very well to this whole Chinese bat plague thing, the coronavirus. So like everything shut down in New York, and there's no point in, like, it's becoming more of a disadvantage to stay in the large cities than an advantage, so people are leaving. It's only going to make things worse because you're going to have less people paying taxes and everything in those major cities and shit. But, yeah, it's bad, man. Like, this is unprecedented in American history. Like, I mean, you literally have the economy teetering on the brink of a global recession or depression, probably a depression at this point, and you have people fleeing the major cities because of the violence, the fact that there's no services anymore because everything's closed and shit. So, I mean, this isn't a surprise, and this isn't the first time New York has started to decay. I mean, it was like this in the 70s, but from what I've heard, it's going to be worse than that. So, I mean, what can you do? I guess move out into a small town or large town, small city, but not New York's not the move. And let's see. Excuse me. I think that's it. Covered everything that I could without Blues being here. So let's see. I don't think, I'm kind of disappointed. I probably shouldn't have had some sake Because I'm like, I wish I was a little bit more energetic for this podcast. I feel like I'm kind of sluggish. But it's okay. We got it done. That's all that matters. So, I think I'm going to end it here, folks. We talked about some good stuff. We had a little bit of disagreements on thing, but, you know, that's just for the course. So, yeah, this is a kind of a short podcast because it's only an hour and 30 this time. Usually we do about 2 hours or more. But that's cool. So we're going to stop it right here.